Hi again, guys, and welcome to our second activation video of our theme, managing stress and anxiety. So stress and anxiety, like I said, it can be good, but you first need to be able to identify whether this is a stressful moment or this is something that's making me anxious, because sometimes you're experiencing a stressful moment, but you don't even know, and so you overlook it, but your body or your emotions stay in that tense, physically tense or emotionally tense state, and you just carry on with life not knowing. So some of the ways that you would be able to identify whether you're experiencing a stressful or an anxious moment is when you have thoughts that come to you like, what if, and wanting to control. So sometimes you even clench your jaws, or your shoulders tense up. You start to question, what if I had done this? Or maybe I just need to man up, I need to be strong. Or, just thinking to yourself, it's not that bad. And a lot of the times, this stressful experience becomes a cycle, and you just keep suppressing it and suppressing it and suppressing it to a point where it's just too late, and the damage control now just requires a lot more work than normal. And so within this activation video, I'd like to share with you guys, like I said previously, that when I was in my grade 11 year, I was performing so well that I was we were doing fundraising. I was about to go to London with my team of peers. And another thing is that I applied to study at University of Witwatersrand at WITS, and they took me. I had applied for fine arts. I went for my interview. I was ready. I was excited. They were happy to have me. And as I'm now progressing into my grade 12 year, this is also a time where my grandfather, who raised us at home, was very ill, and we could see. I remember at a point where my aunt said to us, we need to prepare our hearts and minds that Papa is going to leave us soon. And this really took me into a hectic, anxious state, to a point where even in school, I wasn't able to apply myself anymore. And how did that affect me? My schoolwork started to just slowly go down, and despite what I was doing, and on top of that, I was struggling with maths. Like I mentioned in the previous video, I was struggling with maths. I'm trying to make sure that I just pass well. But anyway, let's fast forward to matric. And when I get to matric, we're now ready to get our results. By the time that we were going to fetch our results at the garage with the newspaper, I had already packed my bags, guys. I knew that I'm going to WITS, I'm ready, and yes, let's do this. I just need to go get the papers to take it to the university and start my career, my studying career. And I remember seeing my marks. I literally missed my entry with 2%. They didn't care whether I passed well in grade 11. Because I didn't have that 2%, I was denied entry. I literally got the letter. We regret to inform you that you will not be studying, as planned. And that devastated me. That really, you can imagine, that excitement of thinking that I'm going to study at this place. I'm going to live in the city of Johannesburg with my friends, and that didn't happen. And so what I had to do, I had to just look at my situation, and I thought to myself, I need to do something, and like I said previously, stress and anxiety can either motivate you or it can cripple you. And fortunately also, my grandfather being around still at the time, it was just before he had passed on, he motivated me and said, don't let this, steer you away. Don't let this distract you. And what I did immediately, I tried to go remark, and the remarking didn't help. If anything, they said you stand a risk of getting lower marks if you remark. So the best way is to just write again. And I wrote again. And writing again meant I need to focus, I need to apply myself, no more distractions. And I wrote again and I applied at the University of Pretoria, and I made sure that the two subjects that I hadn't performed well in, I'm just going to rewrite them, take one subject that I didn't perform well in and one that I know that it's nice and easy for me, and I did that, and the University of Pretoria accepted me, and that's how I have become a Tux alumni. And so going forward, I would like for you guys to also think of, areas in your life, be it in school, be it at home, in your friendships, where is it, where it's giving you that stress or that anxiety that you might not be aware of as yet, but as you just keep going and, taking time to think about it, it will, show itself, and that's where then you're now empowered to know what exactly you're dealing with. So, it's very important for you, as you are at a very crucial time of your studying career, for you to just implement specific tools that you know are going to propel you and ensure that you do your best. And I'm going to share just a few tips, some of the tips that I've tried, some of the tips that I've learned along the way that I'm still doing, or rather that I'm still implementing whenever I know I'm studying or I need to accomplish or finish a certain project. And just to name a few, one of the things that you can do, study as much as you can. I can't stress this enough. And studying as much as you can, there is no limit. All you need to do is know that you're giving it your best, you're doing as much research as you possibly can. Another way that you can do that is by trying to mimic your test conditions. So if you have an idea, if you know where you're going to write and how the room is like, if you know how the seating position is, sit down in a way that you know that this is how I'm going to write. Put your things the way how you would put them in an exam setting. Another trick that I learned is that chew a bubble gum of a specific flavor that you know that you're going to chew on your exam date. And once you're studying and you've practiced your mind into that setting, chances are you'll do a lot better. Another one that I'd like to share with you guys is get enough sleep. Get a lot of sleep, as much as you can. Make sure that you're rested. By sleep obviously doesn't mean that sleep over time, but just make sure that you get a lot of rest. Find ways that when you are feeling anxious and tense, how do you calm yourself down? Look for ways that maybe you take deep breaths, you slow down. When you know that you're feeling anxious and overwhelmed, you speak to someone. Find someone that you know that you can trust and speak to. And this list could be endless. There's a lot that you can also find on the internet, but just make sure that you've got tools. Don't just go into it. Make sure that you've got tools that when you feel stressed, when you feel anxious, you know what to do. You have an idea, and that you're aware that now, okay, this is definitely something that I need to do to calm myself down. But we are now going into the debrief version of our video, and I'd like for you guys in the meantime to find ways, think of how you can put your tools together to ensure that you are managing your stress and anxiety.